Gretchen Rubin once said that habits are the invisible architecture of our daily lives. That's always stuck with me. And unless you actually take a look at your habits, your life might end up in a place that you don't want it to. All of this in mind, I decided to do a habit audit for the very first time. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to do one. I'm actually going to show you my habits audit so you can see my daily habits. And I'm going to share with you what I found. Let's get into it. So the good news is that doing a habits audit is super easy. It'll take around 30 minutes and it'll add a lot of value to your life. The importance of doing an exercise like this is so that you can make that invisible architecture visible. This is how you do it. You're going to grab your iPad, a piece of paper, a journal, your phone, whatever you prefer, and you're going to write down all of your habits by parts of the day. So you'll do your habits from the morning, you'll do your habits from the middle of the day, and you'll do your habits from the end part of the day. Write them all out and don't think twice. It's a list that you're going to write with no judgment. Once you have the 3 columns filled out with your habits for all part of the day, then you're going to sort all of those habits into 3 categories. Each of those categories will represent one thing. One category will be things that build you up. One category will be things that drain you. And the other category will be things that are neutral. As you're going through your list, ask yourself, if I were to continue this habit and be consistent with it, where would this take me in 1 year? That really helps to contextualize and give you better insight as to how the habit is actually affecting you. This is the lens that we're trying to put on these habits to make the architecture visible in our lives. A bonus tip for you that can really help you is if you're clear on your values, then you can stack them against all of your habits from the morning, midday, and the evening to determine if they're aligning with your values. And that can help to narrow down if these habits are adding value to your life or if they're draining you and taking value away. If you're not clear on what your values are, don't worry. I've made a video just to help you do so. And then once you've done all this, the goal is then to choose 1 or 2 habits that you want to double down on or add more time and energy to, and then choose 1 or 2 habits that you want to get rid of. The idea here is not to overhaul your entire habits arsenal or to completely change your life. It's to focus on what's actually adding value to your life, adding more energy to that, and then watching the 1% change compound over time, because that's how habits work. To put a bow on it, do this every season or every quarter so that you can check in with yourself and determine, okay, these last 3, 4 months, how has this been going for me? Are there other habits that I need to get rid of? Do I need to shift my energy and focus on other habits to add even more value to my life? Things may shift over the course of a year because life happens, your priorities change, things come up. So by doing this 4 times per year, you stay aligned to your values, you maintain an awareness about what your habits are and how they're actually impacting your life. And if you do so for over the course of a year, imagine where your life might be after that year. This actually should become one of your habits, checking in with your habits. This is something new to me, but I got really excited doing this exercise. And so in the next part of this video, I want to show you my habits audit so that you can see my process. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to draw my 3 columns so that I can put my habits into each of the 3 columns. As a reminder, there is no judgment here. You're just trying to list all of your habits throughout an entire day so that you can then sort through them. So I'm going to write morning, day, and night into the columns, and I'm going to begin sorting out my habits. If you're new to the channel, then hello, welcome. You may not know, I am a teacher at an elementary school, and I have the benefits of a very structured routine. My life is basically lived around academic years. And so that provides me a lot of structure to be able to maintain the same routine. And it's easier for me to revise my routine, to add, to edit, delete as I see fit. So as you can see here, for my mornings, this is a typical average day for me. I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I go surfing. Once I come back, I take a shower and get dressed for work. Then I eat a light breakfast, go upstairs, brush my teeth. I jump on the teacher van at 6:34 a.m. on the dot every day. I read for 20 minutes on the van. Right afterwards, I put my Kindle away. I practice gratitude by naming one thing I'm grateful for every single day. Then I show up to my school where I work at, and this is my routine. I immediately turn on my computer and I look at my lesson plans for the day, which are already planned, obviously. I'll have a quick chat with my assistant to make sure that we are aligned and prepared to teach for that day. Then my students arrive and I preview the day for them because I like them to be aware of what's going to happen, and I like my classroom environment to be as predictable as possible. After that, I check my to-do list as the kids are reading and getting ready for the first lesson, just to make sure I know what I need to do for the day, or at least I can keep it in my head. Then I teach my first lesson. After that, the kids have recess. Admittedly, I usually do work during recess. The kids return from recess, and then I teach 2 more lessons. At 11 a.m., I end up having lunch on the dot. Also, admittedly, I eat fairly quickly, usually in about 15 to 20 minutes, so that I can get back to my class and work even more. That usually involves planning, other types of work, and admin type stuff. After my planning periods, my kids return. Then I teach the final lesson. I pack up my bag, I catch the van home, and on the way home, I, of course, listen to electronic music. It's usually a nice time for me to kind of sit, reflect, and enjoy the views. So, in terms of my habits at night, starts with me eating a snack. That's followed by my stretch slash mobility routine, which lasts 23 minutes. Also, made a video teaching you how to make your own, if you want to check that out on my channel. After that, it's followed by therapy, which is not every day, but that is something that I do usually week to week or every other week. Then I go to the gym, come home, and I work on personal projects like I'm currently doing right now. I take a shower, I brush my teeth. Can't forget the smoothie that I have after the gym. Important habit for me there. And then I go to sleep by 9 p.m. on the dot. So this is an average day for me, and you'll notice that there's certain things present here, at least things that feel like they would stand out if you're a viewer and maybe you have a different lifestyle or routine. There's no TV, really. There's no social media because I've intentionally cut those things out. I really just don't have time for those things. I enjoy TV. I enjoy social media sometimes. It's because I like to stay connected to family and friends, but I just have other priorities. And I actually stopped using social media at the beginning of February. So it's going on 3 months now, and it's been incredible for me. It honestly frees up my time to do videos like this and to focus on myself. So the habits that I just wrote down according to parts of my day are pretty much what I do every single day. And every day is packed down to the minute, which sounds exhausting. And it sounds like, okay, when do you have time to rest? But the thing is I don't feel like I need to rest. Obviously, I have my moments where I'm in between classes, or I come home and I take a seat, or I'm stretching. Those are my moments where I feel like I'm recharging, but I'm enjoying all of the things that I am doing, and they give me energy. And this is something new that I've been working on, where I don't have to fill my time with this mindless stuff, which I think so many of us get caught up in. I don't need to watch TV for an hour or scroll on Instagram for 30 minutes to feel better, because that actually drains me and doesn't help me to do the things that I want to do. So the next phase of this habits audit is to actually sort all of my habits into categories. You can sort them into buckets or create 3 new columns if you'd like, but I liked this color coding idea that I had because I didn't have to rewrite anything, and I'm a visual person. So I decided to come up with these 3 colors like a stoplight. Green represents things that build me up. Yellow represents things that are neutral, and red represents things that are draining. So I'm going to walk you through my thought process as I categorize every single one of these habits into green, yellow, or red. Start with green, things that build me up. In the morning column, waking up at 5 a.m., surfing, eating breakfast, reading for 20 minutes, and practicing gratitude. All were very simple and jumped out at me as things that build me up. I love waking up and at 5 a.m., starting my day early because I get to see the sunrise. I get to do an activity. I don't feel like I'm waking up and immediately doing work because I don't like that idea. Breakfast always nourishes me. I have yogurt and a smoothie every single morning, and I love that breakfast. And then the reading and the gratitude really just sets me off on the right foot for the day. In the middle part of my day, looking at my lessons plans, chatting with my assistant, previewing the day for the kids, and checking my to-do list are also habits that help me to feel like I'm starting my day off on the right foot. Lunch at 11 a.m. nourishes me, and then listening to music also builds me up because I just love music. And then at night, eating a snack, my stretch routine, therapy, and then the gym and the smoothie, working on my personal projects, and then going to sleep by 9 p.m. so that I can get 8 hours also builds me up. So as I first did this, I was happy to see so much green. I immediately started to notice how much green there was in the morning and night sections versus the day, but we'll get to that in a second. Next up, I'm highlighting the neutral stuff: showering and getting dressed, brushing my teeth, jumping on the teacher van. Those are the morning ones. Catching the van home, the day one, only had one in the day, and then showering and brushing my teeth again at night were the neutral. And then now for the habits that drain me: teaching a lesson, recess, where I'm working more, teaching more lessons, eating so quickly, and then working more, planning, working, doing admin stuff, and then teaching another lesson all drain me. And I don't want this to sound like a bad thing, but the nature of my job as a teacher, teaching 10 to 11-year-olds, is very draining. So now that you've seen my habits list and categorizing them into things that build me up, things that are neutral, and things that drain me, I'll share some thoughts. As I did this activity, I found it very interesting that there was a lot of green that made me feel good and validated the habits that I already have. What was really interesting is seeing that the habits that drain me are all within work. And I was easily able to see the ones that I could potentially change. And so now moving into the bonus tip, which is to see if these things are aligning with my values, I'll show you what my values are and then explain my thought process as to how they're connected or not connected to my habits. So my core values, I'm very proud of this list. I have been sticking to them since 2024 and revisiting them when necessary as a reminder, but also to make sure that they still align with who I am and are important to me. And I've actually added a couple in the last year or so. So I have 8 total core values. They are self-respect, self-awareness, openness, growth, community, gratitude, honesty, and authenticity. It felt good as I wrote these because, again, as I was thinking about the habits list that I just created, I was thinking to myself, oh, I know I'm hitting the gratitude value. Oh, I know I'm hitting the growth value, and so on. So that was very reaffirming. So as I took a look at those values, I thought about my list. And so I decided to go back to my list and to see if anything jumped out at me. So I'm looking at my list, as you can see here now. I'm focusing on the habits that are draining me first. I'm thinking to myself, okay, the ones that drain me, are they in conflict with any of these core values? And they felt like they were in conflict with self-respect. So I decided to circle 2 habits: working during recess and then eating in 15 minutes and working more, as coming into conflict with that. Because I thought to myself, okay, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if I truly respected myself, I would give myself time to rest. I would truly enjoy my food and not feel like I constantly have to be productive, which, because of my self awareness value, I know is something that I need to work on. I constantly am trying to be productive. Anyways, now I'm looking at the green values that build me up, and I want to choose 2 that I can focus on, add more energy to. I'm thinking. There's so many good choices here. Really, I could add energy to any of these, and I truly feel like it would add value to my life. But I decided to end with read for 20 minutes and therapy. And I decided on these 2 because I usually read when I'm on the teacher van on my way to work. And I realized that if I don't have work or if I'm traveling, that habit doesn't really stick as much. And I want to be able to read every day, anytime that I have free time, because I truly love reading. And so it's not a super crazy one, but something that I think would add even more value to my life. Secondly, therapy. I have recently decided to start using AI to enhance my therapy experience. I take notes on every therapy session, and I had the idea to take pictures of all of my notes and to input them into Claude. I've also input my values and my vision and my mission as documents, as PDFs into Claude, so that it's aware of who I am and where I'm headed. And then it interprets all of my notes. And by putting more time and energy into that habit, I think I can gain a lot from it. It's not to replace my therapist, it's not to do anything crazy like that, but I find Claude to be very useful, not necessarily right or wrong, but just useful. And so that's my goal here. So as you can see, a habits audit is not complicated. It only takes about 30 minutes, and it's a very enjoyable and reflective process for your own life. I have never done an audit like this before, and I didn't plan anything before this video. I just decided to sit down and just write and to make this video. So I'm being open and transparent and honest with you guys about my habits and where I can improve, where I can double down and strengthen certain habits. And I'm really excited about this because it's giving me even more direction, even more purpose, which are things that I'm trying to share with you guys and things that I'm constantly trying to implement into my life. If any of this interests you, please consider subscribing. I would love to know how the process went for you down in the comments. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.